So Microsoft, I know we're a PlayStation podcast, but this is interesting news, especially as the next generation is apparently dawning quicker than I would have thought. Right, Microsoft. For those that aren't in the know, right? This is mega old news now at this point. This news came out, just after we recorded our last episode, I think. In terms of the news I'm about to go into right now, and then the actual headline news that I've got to read is brand new. So, as you know, Phil Spencer has stepped away from Xbox. He's retired. That's the old news. So he stepped down, and they got a new person in who is brand new to gaming, and she's an executive who bit her chops and cut her teeth, if you will, on AI integration. Can't remember her name now, slipping the mind. Doesn't matter anyway for the purpose of this. Anyway, she's come out and she's put a tweet out there saying that Microsoft's next generation Xbox console is codenamed Project Helix. It will lead in performance and play your Xbox and PC games. So the rumours that have been whirling forever, and we've spoken about on the show quite a lot in terms of this hybrid approach that Xbox were seemingly looking to go down, she has now confirmed that that is the case, that it will be playing both of those, and more information next week at GDC. So the first thing, Phil, I want to ask you is, are you surprised about this? And secondly, do you find it strange that we're already talking about next gen now at this point, when the news has been that PlayStation 6 isn't till 2028, 2029 at this point?
I'd probably say no to both those. I'm not surprised that we're getting news about this, because Xbox need to look to the future, considering what they currently have. Now, I just want to take a moment to admire that name, that code name, that project name. Project Helix. That sounds fucking cool, doesn't it? I don't really give Xbox a lot of props, but out of all the names you could have gone round, you span that wheel, and then Helix comes up. That's a very cool name. I don't know what it means, I don't know what it alludes to, but it sounds cool, doesn't it?
Well, you think a helix, if you think about it quite literally, a helix goes around like this, right? If you like a DNA strand is in a helix pattern. So it's the two going together, isn't it? Xbox and PC.
There we go. There's
Makes
the
sense,
explainer.
dude.
Makes sense now that you've explained it, but it sounds fucking cool.
It does sound cool.
And I'm not surprised that it's going down this route, because this is what we all thought it was going to be. We all thought it was going to be Xbox with the ability to play your PC games. But obviously there's not any news there. That's just her confirming these rumours are true. She's not going into any detail here. So to what extent are you going to be able to play these games? We still don't know, do we?
Nope. No idea yet. GDC is going to be an interesting one. GDC is always one of those things of, occasionally there'll be the odd little bit of news that will come out of it that I think is interesting for the show, but a lot of the time it's not. It's more so just like nice background knowledge to have, you know, in terms of like how games were designed, or, you know, talking up like what the next big technologies are, those kind of things. Whereas this one now, it's going to be a fucking major watch. Because to learn about what this next console is, and I've looked it up, Asha Sharma is the new CEO of Microsoft Gaming and head of Xbox. So apologies, I didn't know that offhand. Where she says will lead in performance, it goes show you this thing's going to be, and judging from that and what has been put out previously, where they were saying that the next generation of Xbox is going to be a high premium device, I think if anybody's watching their pennies out there, you're going to be watching them for a little while longer, because this is going to be fucking bucks. If this is playing Xbox and PC games, so they're competing with the PC market, and they're going for and leading in performance, it means it's got to be more powerful than a PS5 Pro, which is already quite expensive. I wouldn't be surprised to be looking at this being in like £900 as like a minimum, I reckon.
But it's still a budget PC. And now that doesn't make sense to me, because I've got a PC. I am a PC gamer as well as a PlayStation gamer.
Boo.
Unfortunately, I'm not on a PC podcast as much as I'd like to be. Got more to say about PlayStation these days anyway. But what's the point in a budget PC?
Well, yeah.
A PC is something that you invest a lot of money in over time. It's modular. You upgrade all the time. And every time you're in a conversation with another PC nut, right, you want to upgrade your PC because you want to be better than them. And then you just throw more money at it. You get a bigger graphics card that doesn't really do too much more. But hey, you've got bigger numbers than him.
This is the thing, right? I think this is why GDC is going to be so interesting, is because I want to know how they position this.
Yeah.
So I think the positioning is going to be so interesting to see, because an Xbox that plays PC games is a PC. That's all it is. And you can make the argument that yes, all consoles are PCs. Well, kind of, I guess. I mean, like there is kind of that argument there. The difference being that with a console, it's a closed environment, it's a closed ecosystem, and you can't really do an awful lot to it that it's not designed to do, right? If this is just a case that it is just a box that has Microsoft on it, like the ROG Ally or whatever, there's been fucking so many problems with that ROG Ally where it's just got Microsoft shit getting in the way of it. I do want to see what this looks like, right? I think it's an interesting idea that they're going for here, and they've got to pivot into something. I don't know. I'm so skeptical of this idea. I don't know how they can make any fucking money off this device either. Because, say for example, and the rumours are true on this, and this is a reach, and obviously this is just speculation at this point, but if it is true that they have the Epic Store on there and they have Steam storefront on there, how does Microsoft get a cut of this at all? Because who in their right mind would buy something on the Microsoft gaming platform if you've got Steam there? No one, right?
I've got a PC and I've never bought an Xbox game on PC.
No,
I've
what's
only
the fucking
ever
point?
bought games through Steam /Humble Bundle, right? Because you get loads for cheap. And like PC games, there's so many that you just get given, right? If you've got Amazon Prime, if you've got like any of these services, if you just log on to the Epic Store, right, every couple of weeks, you get free games. That's the like area that they're trying to market and muscle in on.
It's crazy, man.
It's crazy. It feels like impossible for them. And of course, you've got the Steam hardware coming into this conversation as well, which they're going to compete with on the same price level, it sounds like.
Yeah, exactly. To me, it sounds like this is one of those things that's going to be so interesting, because they're either going to come out with something that's completely off from left field that nobody can see coming, or it's doomed to fail. PlayStation doesn't make its money from its sales of its games, right? The exclusives help, yes, but when you look at like the sales numbers of Spidey 2 or whatever, and that's the best one we have, and it's at like what, 20 million or something like that, maybe 30 million a push. It's not the same numbers as like GTA or COD every year or FIFA or whatever, blah blah blah. PlayStation get their money from the services that they provide, so PS Plus, and that fucking rip, that 30% that they take off every single game that's sold on their ecosystem. If you're opening up your ecosystem to allow other storefronts in that people are going to prefer, where do you make your fucking money? I don't understand. I don't understand. And so I'm so looking forward to watching this and seeing how this all works.
I mean, I can put an Xbox sticker on the front of my PC.
Everything's an Xbox these days, isn't it?
But my PC cost me more than £1,000.
Wonder how much it's going to be. What do you reckon? Do you reckon it'd be a grand, or do you reckon it'd be more?
If we're looking for lead-in performance,
yeah, that's got to be more than a PS5 Pro, I'd say, for that.
Yeah. So you are looking the top end for grand, aren't you, for something like this? Because the ROG alloys are around that sort of price anyway. So you might even be going further than that.
That's
now,
fucking frightening.
Who is buying that? You'd have to be such a fanboy of Xbox to want to buy something like this. Do you know anyone who bought the ROG Ally with the Xbox button? I know one person.
Did Lewis buy one? Did Potato Chief buy one?
I think he got the one without the button.
Oh, okay. Like the older model for it, yeah?
Well, there was two SKUs, wasn't there? There was one which was more just ROG Ally that can play Xbox stuff. And then there was the ROG Ally with the Xbox integration, which had an Xbox button, which just launched the browser, right?
Yeah. I don't know anybody who else. Do you know what? It's becoming increasingly hard to find anybody that plays Xbox. Like, normally when I'm in work or whatever, games would come up naturally as a conversation thing. So I'm normally wearing like a games t-shirt or whatever. And it used to be back in the day that you'd be like, oh, what do you play on? They're like, Xbox. You'd be like, oh, I'm PlayStation. Ooh. Whereas now it's, oh, PC or PlayStation. That seems to be it. And then, the odd person would be like, Switch. You're like, oh, well, who the fuck are you? But yeah, most of the time it's just that. It's PC or PlayStation. That seems to be all I get from people. I mean, granted, it's just my own experience, and maybe I'm just not in those circles that Xbox people are hanging out in. But seeing as the Xbox Series S and X has sold less than the Xbox One, it's not surprising they're going to this new console generation as quick as possible. It makes perfect sense. I do wonder how they're going to pull this out of the bag, because they would have been much smarter going for something that is basically just fucking bin off Game Pass, put everything back being exclusive, and make me buy one. If I can't get Wolfenstein on my PlayStation, I'll get an Xbox for it. That's all they had to do.
Or, and I said this actually when Lewis was still running his show, probably over a year ago now, because we were like speculating about what a new Xbox could look like, and my take on it was that they should go the other way, because you have the premium option, which is a PC, because you can never spend enough money on a PC. There's always more money to spend, right? So that's ultimately your premium gaming, right? You've got PlayStation that sits in this sort of sweet spot that, every mum and father can buy for their son. You've got Nintendo, which has the crazy exclusives that everyone needs, right? So everyone needs a Nintendo, everyone needs either a PlayStation or a PC. But why don't you position Xbox to be that really cheap end? So everyone can just have one, have your subscription method built into that, and just have it everywhere. That kind of was where Phil Spencer was going, wasn't he? With like everything is an Xbox. But why wouldn't you come out with some sort of hardware that let these games play much better than me trying to play via like Amazon Luna on my TV? Because that thing is jank at the moment, I would admit, right? If Xbox had their kind of streaming service with kind of a cheaper hardware, and then maybe a step up where you actually had the hardware locally, and it was like the affordable end of the market, I would see more legs in that than going super premium for a console where you have to compete against PCs, which are ultimately always going to be more premium.
Yeah, and you're competing with the console base of PlayStation anyway. If you go in like high-end premium, it doesn't make sense. You're right, like anything like that would work, or just fucking bow out. Just bow out. Like, what's the point?
I don't want them to bow out.
They might as well at this point, dude. Like, giving every exclusive up and just having them all so they're everywhere, you might as well just fucking go at this point. It's like when Sega left, right? And they left the console war, it sucked ass. Everyone got their games, though. Whereas Microsoft has still got a horse in this race, but have given everyone else their properties. It just makes no fucking sense. Just, at least if you're coming out with this new high-end device, first thing you do is you say, right, we're fucking shutting down Game Pass on PC, so you're playing it within the ecosystem here, and we're not releasing our games on PlayStation. That would be it. Like, at least then at that point there is a tangible reason, because like last year we wouldn't have been able to play Doom. We wouldn't be able to play Indiana Jones. We wouldn't be able to play Starfield's coming over in the next few weeks, apparently. I didn't put it in the fucking docs. Who gives a shit? But
7th of April, apparently.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Who's excited for that?
Yeah, who gives a fuck? Fable coming out later this year looks great. Like, they got a good cadence of game releases that are decent, right? They may not be, like generational games or anything like that, but they're fucking good. And if you had enough of them over the course of this generation, which they have now at this point, there would have been reason to buy into the ecosystem, man. So I don't know. I'm hoping that she comes out and she unveils the console, right? And, just talks about it, whatever the fuck she goes into, about how it's going to work, and setting people's expectations for the price being absolutely fucking enormous. All these kind of things. And hopefully she starts talking a little bit more about the strategy in terms of how they bring Xbox back. Because that would be great, right? Like, I think there is still a place for them here if they just leverage their brand properly. And it's something that no one seems to have done for forever, but trying to go mass market and go high-end premium don't go hand in hand.
No, no. But she was brought in for a reason, right? And they've selected her, and she doesn't have like the pedigree of a gaming background, does she? Right?
No, no.
You know, there was lots of comments I saw on Twitter, and you know what Twitter's like, an absolute cesspool. And it's a woman of colour as well, so of course they were diving on all that type of stuff as well, right? But that's completely irrelevant. But they've chosen her for her skill set. So let's hope that she's able to project the right messaging that she needs to for Xbox and get people excited about something, right? I think that's the first step. Whatever it is, they just need something to look forward to, right? Because we could, probably another 3 hours of this podcast to talk about things we're excited about, right?
Yeah, we do.
But Xbox, I think they run out of juice at the moment. They just don't have much going on, so they need a big thing. And hopefully this is whatever it is, whatever Project Helix turns out to be, a big thing for them. And I hope she's able to deliver it in a meaningful way.
Oh, mate, I hope so too. We've said it so many times in this podcast, but a strong Xbox means that Sony are kept in check, right? Like, we need to have that, and it's not been working so far. I just really hope that the curse of complete and utter tomfuckery at the top of Xbox does not continue. And as much as I like Phil Spencer, as much as the next guy, it's quite hard to say he did a great job. You know, like some of the shit that came out over the Xbox Series fucking console and before Xbox One were both just bad. They were just bad decisions. Like Game Pass, I swear it's been so fucking detrimental to that fucking brand.
Here's a football reference for you. He's the Ruben Amorim of Xbox. I'll leave that one for you.
Well, thanks. Audience, you might need to write in and let me know about that one. Well,
moving on.
Move it on, yes.